Hey everyone, happy Wellness Wednesday. I am Katrina Potter, and today we're going to go over different daily routines that you can incorporate to support your body's digestive system. I want to say right out of the gate, this is not intended to be medical advice, just things that I have found to support my body digestively. You can take it or leave it. If you love it, awesome, incorporate it. If not, that's okay. No feelings hurt if you just listen and it's not for you. So for me, my mindset is very holistic minded, wanting to really look at the root cause and support whatever's going on in my body or with someone that I'm talking with from a root cause standpoint. And so I want to preface everything that we're talking about today with that in mind. So I'll just share a little bit about my own wellness journey. When I was introduced to doTERRA, it was back in 2014. And at the time, I was dealing with a lot of digestive issues that I was able to find resolution with using holistic options. And so for me, I'm very passionate about sharing this topic and things that are available to us that maybe typical mainstream information doesn't support or doesn't necessarily discuss as often as I think we could. So that's just kind of how I want to preface all of this. Now, I also want to share that I think there's a lot of different tools. So I'm just going to share the ones that I have enjoyed and found to be great, and then know that there's other things out there as well. The part that I shared on Monday is worth going back to. In my belief, there are emotional contributing factors and also physical contributing factors. And I think both need to be focused on as well as other aspects. So on Mondays, what we talk about are the emotional roots. And then on Wednesdays, it's more of physical things that we can add in. So for me, in my own wellness journey, one of the biggest things that has supported my body is introducing whole food supplementation. I take doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. I'll put the link for my website connected to doTERRA in the description if you want to check them out. I cannot say enough about how much incorporating whole food supplementation has added into my life. I think about our body as energetic beings, and what I mean by that is how we feel in our body. And if I think about the amount of energy that I had in my body before, it was a very low amount, and then I start fueling my body with high quality supplements, and all of a sudden it's almost as if like the energetics in my body start increasing, and I noticed things starting to shift. Now, I've always been perceivably a pretty healthy person. I had some issues hormonally and digestively and with my thyroid and those types of things, but I was a runner, and I think from the outside looking in, it looked like I was pretty healthy. But I think what we miss is talking about how our body needs this foundation of vitamins. And unfortunately, we mass produce a lot of the food. And so the soil doesn't have the same amount of nutrients that it did 100 years ago or even 50 years ago. And so taking supplements, and one of the things that I didn't understand was that there's different types of supplements. There's whole food supplements, and then there's synthetic supplements. And I was taking a traditional over-the-counter multivitamin, thinking that I was doing my body some great service. And what I learned is that they're actually, when they're created synthetically, it goes into our body and our body doesn't know what to do with it. And sometimes because it doesn't know what to do with it, and there's such high amounts, so you mix high amounts of whatever the vitamin is paired with it being synthetic, and then it can really act toxic in our body because it doesn't know what to do with it. So when we have whole food supplementation, that means that it comes from plants, it comes from food. So our body is like, oh, I know what to do with this. I'm going to use it to support it myself. So adding in the Lifelong Vitality, I saw a huge shift in my digestive system. Another thing that I love is taking probiotics. It just is a great way to build up the body's the good bacteria in the body. And then adding in Digest Zen is a great oil to support the body's digestive system. And so adding that in topically, internally, whatever your preference is. I like taking it in the soft gels, especially in the beginning, because it has fennel in it. And I originally was absolutely turned off by fennel. So it was great to have it in a soft gel because I could just pop it. So those were things from a physical standpoint that I really enjoyed. And then there's also taking a digestive enzyme. I found a huge difference in how my body felt. And I didn't know a ton about digestive enzymes. So what I learned was that our body stops naturally producing or creating digestive enzymes, which is what helps our body break down food and absorb the nutrients. And so when our body is no longer creating that around the age of 30, now we can add in digestive enzymes to support our digestive system. So we have all of that. Now I also understand the new MetaPower line. So I've added that in, but when I first was introduced to doTERRA, they didn't have that. So that wasn't in my memory bank as being something for the digestive system. But now it's a part of my daily routine. So you can check out the videos on metabolic health to learn more about that. So we have whole food supplementation, probiotic, and a digestive enzyme, plus the Digestion oil. Those are our key ones. Now, some other things that I'll occasionally add in, doTERRA has a peppermint capsule that is, it's enteric coated, and so it goes through the entire digestive system. So for more of the later stages of the digestive system, if you have issues there, that would be a great thing to add in just to support the digestive system in that realm. And then other things that I have found to be helpful is to periodically do a cleanse. So taking supplements to help the body with that detox portion and releasing anything that the body is holding on to. And then during those cleansing periods, what I like to do is an elimination diet. And what that means is just Googling like inflammatory foods, or Googling like an elimination diet, and then trying to eliminate the foods that are listed. And then after the cleanse, reintroducing them one by one. When I do this, I can start to see like, ooh, this food actually is triggering to my body, but I didn't realize because I was adding in, just it was here and there and there and here, and then not noticing it. So I try to do it quarterly, a quarterly cleanse with the elimination diet we change our oil in our car more than quarterly typically. And yet we don't change the oil in our body, and we have one body. You can swap out your car, but you have your one body. And so just really trying to nourish the digestive system and the elimination pathways, and just help to get that junk out of the body. So periodically doing a cleanse. There's one through doTERRA that I traditionally will follow along with, and add in some celery juicing while I'm doing that as well, just to help with getting things out. But those are, as far as like a daily routine and then a quarterly routine, those are things that I have found to make a huge difference digestively. So I'll drop a couple of links in the description if you want to browse around and look at things. Feel free. If you want to reach out with any questions, awesome. You can go, my website is www.yourlifefuel.com. You can go there, or you can email me, Katrina@yourlifefuel.com. I'm pretty active on Instagram if you want to connect with me there @yourlifefuel. And we can keep the conversation going. But I would encourage you to look at Mindset Monday, and talk more about the emotional component behind digestion, because I think that has such an important aspect to digestion. And I think that is it. There's other oils that you can add in. If you have a resource book, just look up digestion and oils. And sometimes it's a matter of figuring it out and what works best for you. There's times when fennel works great. There's times when Digestion works great. There's times when lemon works great. So it just, for me, depends on whatever's going on. And then when I look at connecting it emotionally, sometimes for me, my digestion is off due to some anxiousness or due to something emotionally. So just giving room to identify that as well, so that we can listen to the messages that our body is sending us. My belief is that our body will whisper until it needs to yell. So if we can really tune in with what our body is trying to whisper to us, then we can proactively avoid the yelling. So anyways, that is it for today. Happy Wednesday. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week.